healthier. I'm going to eat today, I'm going to eat. It's every day. You have to renew that motivation.
One bad meal, sometimes it takes so much toll on the mental health, you know.
Yes.
Kita akan rasa sangat bersalah, kita akan rasa guilty, kita akan rasa sedih, kita akan rasa marah just because one meal.
Yes.
Like Filza said, esok is another day. You can always be a better person tomorrow. You can always choose better for yourself tomorrow. Tapi that one bad meal akan spoil your whole day.
That is actually, you need two things. Prebiotics and probiotics. Kalau GERD dengan gastric, because of the meal time. If let's say you skip meal, your stomach goes empty for long time, your gastric acid producing, and then lama-lama dia akan cause abrasion lah towards your stomach tu, ataupun dia akan cause gas lah. You see your diet, okay, is it comprising of all the macro and micronutrients? Is it balanced or not? Do whatever works for you, right? So you have to find that. I cannot dictate for you lah, macam okay pergi Zumba 30 minit every day. Kalau you tak minat Zumba, you won't feel joy. You rasa forced tu.
Betul.
Macam you rasa macam kena pergi. Macam tu. So kalau you find enjoyment in something that you do as a mean of exercise, actually you tak rasa macam you kena paksa pun pergi. So you are willing to go because that is your me time.
Yes, you just like doing it.
Yeah.
True.
So I think this one you have to figure out for yourself what works for you. And also you have to train yourself in terms of the body cues, right? The body cues. Bila you rasa you stress, you nak makan, ataupun you sedih, you rasa nak makan, you penat, you rasa nak makan, you ask yourself, why are you eating this?
I think this tip is very useful for the ladies. Sebab I think the period time, ovulation time, kita punya mood is everywhere.
Yeah, premenstrual sadness is
I tell you.
Yeah.
So kalau masa tengah PMS tu sebelum nak period tu, it's memang the mood is all over.
Yeah.
So memang akan rasa
nak
marah, and then appetite tu meluak-luak actually.
Betul.
So it's like, I think it's very important yang kita tanya, macam Filza cakap, kita tanya kenapa saya nak makan.
Yes.
Especially apa-apa yang tak sihat lah. If you're going to go for something healthier version tu, okay I think. But if it's not going to be a healthier version, I think we should keep asking ourselves, why am I going to do this? Why am I eating this for? So macam ni, so like what do you say about flexibility? Food flexibility.
Okay, alright. So food flexibility ni is like I have this one belief. We are eating also for our soul.
Right? I really like this one.
So because we are humans, so sometimes you cannot see, okay, macam you gym goer, you have to eat chicken breast for the whole 3 months. Yes, you won't have joy.
Yeah.
Right? Pasal you rasa depressed. Nak kena makan ayam, you tak boleh makan ayam chicken breast for the whole year because you dah stressed. Okay? So this where you come the intuitive eating. Alright. So kalau you rasa you nak makan chocolate, allow yourself to eat.
Okay.
Kalau you nak makan cake, allow yourself to eat cake. Tapi you have to ask. You cannot allow yourself too frequent.
Yang too frequent tu yang penting.
Yeah, sebab sometimes macam stress lah, I rasa macam I deserve a treat. I need to treat myself, so I need to eat ice cream or usually ladies, ice cream or cakes.
Yes.
Right?
It's two option. Memang
betul.
ada.
Kan? So kalau for me lah, I've tried not to macam contoh macam okay, I rasa bersalah nak makan chocolate, cannot. Macam I have to eat healthy. I pun makan I makan buah. Lepas tu I makan chips. Lepas tu end up I makan juga coklat.
Betul. Because I pun pernah try benda tu. Kita akan set in our mind. Okay, tak nak, saya takkan makan benda tu. But the thing is, saya rasa kita akan makan lebih banyak.
Betul.
So I go for healthier version, end up saya memang akan makan
juga kan?
Saya tak boleh control.
Betul. So the thing is, intuitive eating concept is, kalau you rasa nak makan coklat, you makan coklat and then you move on. Tapi you have to tengok lah, macam you makan coklat tu janganlah makan the whole bar. I mean, most probably in small bar. Okay, alright, enough, move on. Sebab one thing you have to understand is, one bad meal
doesn't make a bad day.
Yeah, doesn't mean a bad life.
Yes.
And you have to understand also, one healthy meal doesn't mean that you are healthy.
Okay.
So it goes both ways, alright? So kalau contoh lah, hari ni you terasa you makan lebih, you overeat because of stress, it's okay, move on. tomorrow you promise yourself, I'm gonna do better. Okay, I'm gonna eat better. I'm gonna make a better choice for my body, for my mind, for myself, right? Because sometimes usually kalau macam contoh, my patient always share with me, dia cakap, saya cuba nak diet, lepas tu ada hari yang saya tak boleh control saya makan, lepas tu saya makan banyak and I feel bad about myself, right? I feel bad about myself. Lepas tu dia orang cakap, kau ni macam cakap je nak diet tapi tak diet pun. Lepas tu I feel demotivated and then I return back to the old lifestyle. Okay, one thing I wanna share with you, kalau you rasa you overeat that day, it doesn't end there. So you move on. Tomorrow, promise yourself to be a better version. So you feel like macam, okay, I'm gonna choose better, I'm gonna eat healthier, I'm gonna eat today, I'm gonna eat. It's every day. You have to renew that motivation. Kalau tak, you akan demotivated and macam, tak apalah, you continue je makan macam biasa, buatlah macam mana pun tak turun berat. You don't have that bila you dah demotivated and then you tak ada dah motivation to keep yourself positive, that's when you become a yo-yo diet.
And also I think bila kita macam yang one bad meal, sometimes it takes so much toll on the mental health, you know. Kita akan rasa sangat bersandar, kita akan rasa guilty, kita akan rasa sedih, kita akan rasa marah just because one meal.
Yes.
Like Filza said, esok is another day. You can always be a better person tomorrow. You can always choose better for yourself tomorrow. Tapi that one bad meal akan spoil your whole day.
Yes.
So I think sometimes it's just for one meal you don't have to do that much.
And also if let's say you feel that macam you struggling because of the one bad meal, you feel bad about yourself, you feel guilty and everything. So next day, when you want to eat something yang tak healthy, you ask yourself again, am I eating this because I'm emotional? Am I bored? Sometimes when you are seeing screen too long, you feel bored, right?
Yes.
So you need something like to munch and anything, right? So that is actually the emotional eating and also the intuitive and the mindful eating in one go. Right. So mindful eating is actually you are in touch with yourself. Okay. Kenapa I nak makan ni? Is it because I rasa macam I nak mengunyah? I nak makan ni because I'm bored or because I'm sad, because I'm stressed ke, I penat ke apa ke, you have to ask yourself that. Kalau you rasa macam okay, I'm not really that hungry actually because actually I'm stressed. Okay, drink water. You drink water. Okay. So macam after drink water, feel hungry lah. Okay, do something else. I mean, you stretch ke anything ke, distract yourself from that. Kalau you tak boleh distract yourself from that, then you are really hungry. Then go eat.
Yes.
Right? So, kalau you makan and then bila you makan tu, kalau contohnya nak makan yang so-called unhealthy foods lah, macam like cake ke, ice cream ke, chocolate ke, anything, you makan. Okay, you makan, then move on. You don't have to feel bad about yourself. Remember, one bad meal doesn't mean a bad life.
Yes. I think benda ni ramai kena dengar. Sebab I always have a lot of patient coming to me sebab diorang try banyak kali lah. Like you said, the yo-yo diet comes in and then mereka akan rasa sangat depressed. So depression, they can actually go into the brink of depression because the meal that they're taking it's not so-called healthy lah. So diorang rasa sangat guilty, sangat depressed about that. So I always tell them, one bad meal, you don't have to beat yourself up so much for it. It's okay. Next day is a new day. Just try again.
Betul?
You can just choose a better day tomorrow. So don't beat yourself up so much.
Yeah.
So like we are talking about all this, right? So recently we had our upper GI surgeon lah in our podcast. So he was talking about a meal replacement, like susu.
Yes. Formula.
Yes, formula. So Filza, what is your opinion?
Okay. Formula, meal replacement formula.
Yes.
Meal, we call it meal replacement therapy. Okay, I only suggest a meal replacement therapy for patients who don't have options.
Okay.
Alright, so meaning personnel who are really busy, don't have time to prepare food. And also if let's say they are dekat tempat kerja tu, tempat kerja dia jual makanan yang tak healthy, no healthy options and everything. So dia tak ada masa nak prepare healthy foods, but they want to eat healthy, right? So I would suggest the meal replacement therapy to this kind of patients because satu, it's a complete imbalance. Alright, so one serving I think around 200 to 250 kilocal per day only.
Yes.
Alright, so and I say dia akan buat you rasa full.
Kenyang, ya betul.
Yeah, so kenyang as a main meal, provided is you use that as a meal replacement, not as a meal supplementation.
Betul.
Kalau you use that meal, you minum that formula and then you eat, you gain weight. Because it will become a meal supplementation.
Betul.
So this will works for people yang nak weight gain, right? So people yang nak weight loss, you have to totally replace your meal with the formula. So if let's say in the morning you tak sempat, you kerja and everything, you rushing to work and everything, lepas tu you eat at 10. You eat at 10, usually lah, this is what the routine, Malaysian routine lah. Sarapan tak makan, lepas tu dia akan makan minum pagi around 9:30 to 10 macam tu. So you eat heavy.
Betul, betul.
Mid morning punya meal tu heavy. Lepas tu lunch dia tak rasa nak makan. So bila lunch dia tak makan, dia tak rasa nak makan, lunch is 12 to 2 something. So dia akan makan late lunch.
Betul.
Around 3 to 4. Okay, so bila dia makan late lunch 3 to 4 and then you kacau your dinner time as well. You dinner time 6 to 8. You tak rasa macam tak lapar lagi. So you akan eat dinner
later.
Lambat. Pukul 8, pukul 9 macam tu. Pukul 9, 9:30 macam tu you makan lambat dinner and then close your sleeping time. So usually what's the reason we eat?
So called hungry lah.
Okay. What's the purpose of eating?
To have a balanced nutrition.
Okay. To provide yourself with nutrients, right?
Yes.
Alright. So for your body to function. So what do you do usually after dinner?
Tidur.
Yes. Meaning you don't use the energy. So
Yes.
if you don't use the energy, it will be stored as
Yes.
fat.
Yes, true.
Yeah. So that's I think the parts yang I think Malaysian need to do something about it. You have to have your breakfast awal. At least before going to work. Right? So if let's say you are commuting to work, you probably macam masa you commute tu, maybe you can pack food. Dinner malam before you nak pergi kerja tu, and then you pack your lunch, your breakfast. Doesn't necessarily have to be something yang fancy like nasi goreng ayam ke. Doesn't necessarily do that.
True.
I mean, it can be as simple as a sandwich. It can be as simple as a wrap, alright? Sebab kalau you nak buat mi goreng ke, nasi goreng ke, you have to prepare the carbs, right?
Betul.
So you buy lah something yang carbohydrates yang dah settle, dah siap, dah well prepared. You ambil roti or wrap ke, then you do a healthy protein in the morning. Easier, ayam tak payah thaw. Ayam susah kan sebab nak thaw and everything. You can take
Eggs.
Easier.
True.
It's versatile. You can do boil, you can scramble, you can do omelette, you can do whatever, poach.
Yes.
Right? It's versatile. So you can take 2 eggs. You nak scramble ke, you nak boil ke apa ke. Okay, you eat together with the roti and also a wrap and put some
Salad.
Yeah, salad also you don't have to, you basuh-basuh and potong-potong and then put inside your salad, your sandwich ataupun your wrap kan something. It's a balanced meal dah. Balanced meal dah. You don't have to prepare something vegan. I mean something very extravagant lah. Macam orang dulu is different because why is nasi lemak is our culture?
Tell me, I'm interested to know this one.
Because back then our what do you call it, ancestors work very hard. They are farmers, right? So usually pergi sawah, getah and everything daripada pagi sebelum subuh sampai tengah hari. So they need a lot of energy. So that's why they use santan, because santan is very high in calorie. They provide energy for our ancestors lah. But then now our culture, the food culture remains, but our work culture is different.
Yes.
Yeah. Nak pergi kedai pun parking depan kereta, ada parking depan kedai.
Tak nak jalan. I nak parking depan kereta, depan kedai juga.
I nak parking depan kedai juga. Yeah.
True.
Orang dulu dah kaki, naik basikal and everything. Alright? So that's why you can see difference in Malaysia and also Japan. Why their country tak ramai orang gemuk? One is
They're walking everywhere.
Yeah, walking everywhere. right? Public transport is everywhere, satu.
Mhm.
And also banyak pedestrian punya laluan. You nak basikal, nak jalan kaki, senang nak reach. In Malaysia is very difficult.
Okay, so when we talk about nutrition and all, saya mesti kena cakap about gut health.
Yes.
Sebab sangat common, most of my patient come in because bloatedness,
Yes.
indigestion, doktor rasa gastric problem. All these things comes because you don't have good health, gut health. So kalau macam kita orang biasa akan bagi probiotics and all these things. So from dietitian punya view, apa yang kita boleh buat?
Okay, gut is actually, you need two things, prebiotics and probiotics. So you need good bacteria in your gut, and also you need the food for the good bacteria. Okay, so if let's say you don't have a good flora and fauna inside your gut, so you become lazy. So you become lazy. Bila dia dah become lazy, apa yang you makan tu dia tak digest properly, dia akan ferment. Bila dia ferment, dia akan jadi gas.
Betul.
Produce gas. Bila produce gas, you become bloated lah. So you become bloated, and then lepas tu you macam uneasiness, right? And then sometimes ada people constipation, sometimes chronic sampai gastric, you got GERD, something
Betul.
like that, right?
Betul.
Okay, so this part you have to come back to the for gut health ni, not only for gut health, for regurgitation, GERD, right?
Yes.
And also gastric,
Okay.
and also gut health. All of this is actually relates back to the what do you call it, mealtime. Okay, kalau GERD dengan gastric because of the mealtime. If let's say you skip meal, your stomach goes empty for long time, your gastric acid producing, and then lama-lama dia akan cause kata apa, abrasion lah towards your stomach tu, ataupun dia akan cause gas lah, right? So for gut ni, kalau you susah buang air besar ke anything, sometimes you tak pass gas and everything, okay, you have to see your diet. Okay, is it comprising of all the macro and micronutrients? Is it balanced or not? Alright, sebab kalau untuk makanan flora, makanan for the gut ni, it comes a lot from fiber.
Yes, true.
Yeah, so you have insoluble and soluble fiber. So you need to have this insoluble fiber is like macam green vegetables, right?
Okay.
So the soluble fiber is more towards macam lentils, legumes, right? Barleys, those kind of things, right? So kalau you eat a lot of insoluble fiber, and together dalam nasi pun ada soluble fiber as well, right? So if you eat healthy and balanced, you get all the benefits for good gut health, right? And also you can eat probiotics in our regular meal, macam tempe, right, tempoyak, or kimchi, or yogurt. Those are fermented foods ni adalah probiotics, natural probiotics. Okay, you can eat that one also. So you can include lah. It's not every day you have to eat it. Varies it towards your week, throughout the week. Contoh hari ni makan ayam, esok protein you makan tempe, right? Because soy is also a good source of protein as well.
True.
Right? So it's also macam soy pun ada research yang is good for your health, and it helps in terms of reducing your LDL or bad cholesterol. As long as the method of cooking. Usually tempe buat apa? Goreng. So lepas ni you most probably maybe you tukar lah cara masak tu, macam tu lah.
Okay, faham. So since we already talking about goreng food, so I know you're good at it. So snack yang kita boleh buat yang cepat and is healthy.
Okay, alright.
Meal also can.
Main meal or
snack lah.
Okay, alright. So for working people lah, I think I'm not sure about people with children, they have different lifestyle, or their punya day-to-day punya routine is different compared to single working people, right? So kalau for me what I suggest is to have home cooked meal, okay, easier one, okay. So you can freeze your nasi, Okay, because there's a study as well. If let's say you froze your nasi, you panaskan balik,
Yeah,
dia lower GI.
yes, actually I read about
the
research also.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what you do with the kata apa nasi yang terlebih tu, you boleh freeze kan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you don't have to cook rice every day. Tapi you kena ada big freezer lah. Right? So what I always suggest to working people yang nak turun berat badan but they want to eat healthy, you can prep your meal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can prep your meal and then you can freeze it. Okay, it doesn't cause any nutritional
Deficit.
Yes. Okay, sometimes unless kalau sayur lah. Sayur kalau you overcook, sometimes you lose all the minerals and vitamins, right?
Mm-hmm.
So sayur usually I won't suggest lah masak-masak ini frozen kan. But maybe protein, alright. So kalau you masak chicken grill or anything, kalau you masak yang tak ada kuah and everything, you can keep in the chiller up to 3 to 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can do macam contoh yang senang lah, air fryer nowadays is a big hit, right?
Yes, air fryer is easy.
So I think kalau air fryer punya recipes, one pot recipes is also a good option also lah with people yang very busy, because you put everything inside. You put the carbs, you put protein, you put the fiber inside the one pot recipe. And I like the one pot recipe because it's very easy and also very convenient lah, very convenient.
True.
So I think in TikTok, Facebook, not Facebook lah, I think Instagram Reels, TikTok, there's a lot of recipes yang guna one pot recipes, right? And also you can do meal prep as well. Doesn't necessarily you have to macam
invent yourself.
Yeah, okay. Maybe kalau contohnya nak makan asam pedas, you can eat asam pedas, but maybe you can reduce a bit of oil masa you tumis, right? Or macam kalau you masak curry, you don't use santan, right? You tumis the curry but you don't use santan, right? So I tak cakap yang you cannot eat all those things, right? So all in all, I think untuk healthy meal and also snacks ni, it depends on you. Whether you are willing to prepare it by yourself or you are willing to pay people to prepare it for you. Because nowadays, I think in KL area, also in JB area, there's a lot of like healthy balanced meal vacuum pack.
I've seen.
Yeah, so you can just buy one dish is I think adalah around 15 ringgit, something like that, and you can just panaskan, you eat.
True. And also I think konsep ni semua orang kena faham. It doesn't mean healthy is makanan tak sedap or bland food. You can still have delicious food but in a healthy way.
Betul.
So it sangat, kalau kita cakap healthy je, makanan tak sedap lah doktor, makanan sangat bland lah doktor. I say no. It depends on how you make it.
Betul.
When you make it in a way that is delicious for you, that is good enough. So yang konsep tu kena faham.
Yes, I think more towards macam moderation.
Yes.
Doesn't mean that kalau orang cakap nasi lemak is very bad sebab dia santan, atau ayam goreng and everything. It's not about the nasi lemak. It's about how frequent you eat it. Okay.
And also the portion of it.
Yes, the portion, how frequent, what do you take together with your nasi lemak, right? Okay. So it's important also you have to focus on the moderation and also the variety of the meals that you take. Kalau everyday you makan nasi lemak, you tak boring ke?
Betul.
Atau makan roti canai. I tak cakap roti canai tak bagus. You have to eat for your soul as well. Okay, I teringin nak makan roti canai telur. Okay, makan roti canai telur and teh tarik. Okay, esok move on. Esok choose something yang
healthier lah.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, true. Okay, thank you Filza. I think this will be our end of our session. Thank you so much for coming.
Most welcome. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much.
Baby.
Tak. I actually enjoyed the session today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Bye-bye.